There's no doubt that a Super Smash Bros. Game is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 system at some point. Masahiro Sakurai recently worked on Kirby Air Riders, so it'll probably be a while before we see the next game. So in the meantime, I thought it'd be fun to speculate on who some of the next characters could be. I'm Nate HP, and these are the 5 characters I think need to be in the next Super Smash Bros. Game.
Time for Waluigi!
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Waluigi. Ever since I was a kid, I had wanted Daisy in Smash more than I wanted Waluigi. In Ultimate, that dream finally came true, much to the dismay of the Waluigi fanbase. Since then, I've changed my tune and want him added in the next game. We have just about every major Mario character in the roster except for Waluigi, and I think it's time that he made his debut. In all honesty, I'm not sure what they could do for his moveset, but if Sakurai can make a moveset for a Piranha Plant, I'm sure he could come up with something for Waluigi. If anything, it could be a good opportunity to represent all the Mario Sports and Mario Party games he's appeared in. The sky's the limit in terms of what they could do with him, and I would love to see what Sakurai and his team could come up with. First off, the Kirby franchise needs more representatives. There have somehow only been 3 characters in Smash that represent the franchise. Given Kirby is Sakurai's baby, I'm honestly shocked that he hasn't added more. The Kirby series does have a vast number of characters, but Bandana Waddle Dee has been consistently showing up in games for some time now. He already has a moveset in Kirby's Return to Dreamland. With his recent work on Kirby Air Riders, I'm sure Sakurai could come up with something for the little guy. He's clearly a fan favorite, but it's high time a new Kirby character was added to the roster. I know what you're thinking, and yes, the Octolings could be added as an Echo Fighter. However, I would argue that they should be their own unique fighter. There are dozens of weapons in the Splatoon series, and I bet the Octolings could have a moveset that uses some of the newer weapons in the series. Inklings mainly used weapons from Splatoon 1, but it would be cool if Octolings used weapons that originated in Splatoon 2 and 3. Splatoon has also become a massively popular series. I would argue that it would be a disservice to the fanbase not to include Octolings. At the very least, they should get an Echo Fighter slot, but I think a new fighter slot would be better. There is so much potential in a moveset for them, and it could be a great way to showcase the diverse playstyles that are available in the Splatoon games.
Just leave this to me.
Yes, I know this is the second fighter in a row that could be an Echo Fighter, but there's simply too much potential for Shadow. Despite looking like Sonic, Shadow has a lot of moves that could easily make him a standout fighter. Chaos Spear, for example, could be used as a projectile weapon. His up special could be Chaos Control, warping him around the stage. There's a lot that they could do with him to differentiate him from Sonic. On top of that, Sonic has seen quite the resurgence since Smash Ultimate. It's hard to believe, but the first Sonic movie was still in development at Smash Ultimate's release. The Sonic movie franchise has since become a multi-million-dollar franchise. The games have sold better since the movies came out, and with this, it's the perfect time to add another Sonic rep. And who better than Shadow the Hedgehog? If you ask me, Shadow needs to upgrade from an assist trophy to a full-fledged fighter.
Let's go!
Wait. Don't click off this video yet. I have good reasons for this pick. I know people are sick of all the Fire Emblem characters in Smash Bros, but Lyn is one of, if not the most popular Fire Emblem character. She literally has 12 alternate costumes in the mobile game. Before Smash Ultimate came out, the mobile game Fire Emblem Heroes was released in February of 2017. To celebrate the release of the game, Intelligent Systems held the first Choose Your Legends event, where players could vote for their favorite character. Compared to all the other characters at the time, Lyn had the most votes out of everyone, regardless of gender. Intelligent Systems even stated in an interview that they were shocked by Lyn's popularity. Since then, Lyn has had a huge resurgence across the Fire Emblem series. Like I mentioned earlier, she has 12 different variations in Fire Emblem Heroes. The same year Fire Emblem Heroes came out, Lyn also made a playable appearance in Fire Emblem Warriors, no doubt due to her huge popularity. She received a special Good Smile statue in November, 4 years later in 2021, and represented the Blazing Blade game in 2023's Fire Emblem Engage as the emblem of blazing. Most recently, she's appeared in Fire Emblem Shadows. Clearly, with all this publicity, Intelligent Systems is now fully aware of how popular she is. With Smash Ultimate, we know that development began shortly after finishing the DLC for Smash for 3DS and Wii U. Given how many characters there are, it would be safe to assume that the roster was finalized early on. By the time the Choose Your Legends event had taken place, Ultimate was well into development, and adding her as a fighter probably would have been unfeasible. Her fighting style is unlike any other Fire Emblem character, and Sakurai takes great care in making sure that each character is an accurate representation of them and is balanced with the rest of the roster. It didn't help that she was already an assist trophy in Brawl and Smash 4. Even with this reasoning, I know that some people would be upset about another sword fighter and Fire Emblem getting another character. Here's what I'd say to counter that claim though. Compared to the other lords from the Fire Emblem series that are in Smash Bros., Lyn has a very unique fighting style. While she is a lord, her stats are in closer alignment with the Swordmaster class. This class specializes in speed and has great luck, having a high dodge rate and critical hit rate. What they lack in strength and defense, they make up for in skill as they have a high attack rate. In these games, these are not units that you can take lightly. One mistake could be a unit's demise given how high their critical hit rate is. With this in mind, Lyn could be a very different fighter compared to characters like Martha and Roy. She often summons doubles in her critical hits and is depicted with a bow in some of the games, like Fire Emblem Engage. Given Sakurai's creativity, I'm sure he could come up with a moveset that pays tribute to her appearances throughout the Fire Emblem series. And with her popularity, I believe she has earned a spot in Smash, which is why she's at the top of my list. Well, do you agree with my picks? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. You didn't have to, but you did, and that means the world to me. I know everyone says this, but if you could please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, that would really help. I'll catch you all in the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves.